Here is a simple setup with which you can do many exercises. So I have 4 trot poles set up and then 2 cavalettis. Today they're on the highest setting. You could set them on anything. So I am starting by trotting over these poles in the middle. This is a horse that was in rehab. And this is nearing the end of his rehab time, and he's doing very good. So I use poles a lot for strengthening and, great for the rehab horses when they can. So here I just trotted over the poles, and then I tried to trot in a stretch. And now here I am doing a canter, coming back to the trot to come over the poles, and then picking up my canter after. So I like to use the poles to help the downward transition. So he kind of fell out of that canter a little bit. That wasn't the best downward transition. There I did a little leg yield away. So you can also leg yield to the poles. There he was pretty good. But then when I went to leg yield away, he reacted to my right hand quite strongly. There was a little better. I cantered closer to the poles, and his activity and lifting in his core was better. And the poles helped me get him to engage a little better. So now I'm going to canter the cavaletti, come back to the trot, quite good and active, and then come back to the canter over the cavaletti, working on the straightness, working on the promptness of the aids, letting the poles help me. Horse is stiff to the right, huh? There I'm doing a bit of a shoulder in over the poles. Again, very helpful for strengthening. So that really gets them flexing through the inside hind. Now I'm going to be a little bit forward in my canter and catch the cavaletti to the trot poles to the cavaletti again. There he broke. That's okay. Landed left. Again, that's okay. But especially in rehabbing, and in training in general, pay attention. So this horse, then when I picked up the canter again, he wanted to pick up the left lead. So definitely prefers his left lead, prefers to land left, prefers when I don't have a lot of time to set it up, he prefers to pick up the left lead. The right lead is harder for him. And in rehab, that'll definitely happen. This is another horse. This is a rehab graduate. He is now doing 3rd level dressage work, but he came through my rehab program doing lots of poles. So poles, again, great for strengthening, great for getting them to articulate their joints, lift their core, flex their hocks. So here I'm just on a large circle, trotting through the poles, thinking about trying to get a rhythm. There added a little bit of a leg yield. And this horse in particular is a bit stiffer to the right. So there he didn't love me asking him to move quickly. Now I'm leg yielding right. So I did a little teardrop shape there. Very good reach, very good lift from him through the front end over those poles. Now I'm adding a bit of a sitting trot, a couple steps of hunches in, maybe a couple shoulder in there. And then rising to go over the poles. I don't sit over poles very often unless they're set really collected. But I want to give the horse's back room to lift. There, that leg yield to the right was much better. And then into the canter transition. So again, showing you different things to do with one pole setup. So adding a little leg yield to change directions. Here, I'm going to add a 10-meter circle in the canter. Oh, sorry, I do that later. So cantering, there he was very good in that trot. Nice reach, nice lift, really helped him get some lift through the front end as well. And I kept a bit of almost a shoulder in, not quite, little left shape. I think this is when I do my 10-meter. Yes, so here I do a small circle before around a jump. You don't need to do it around a jump, but a small circle in the canter, and then coming towards the poles. He wasn't quite paying attention. That got a little abrupt in that transition. Really nice in that leg yield. So play around, create little patterns, throw in a canter, throw in some leg yield. Here I do a little change of direction up center line, back to the canter. Work on your transitions. Let the pulls help you with the transitions. Let them help you with the quality of the trot coming out of the canter. So there I do a little mini half pass. Ooh, Henry thought that was hard. But then he gave such a good effort at the pulls. So had I just done a little half pass to a trot transition and he thought it was hard, so he came out of the canter not so great, it would have been really hard for me to get that quality of trot. So coming out of the half pass and trotting through the poles really helped. And there I've got my square halt and give Henry a nice pat.